Hey, what's up, guys? It is Jeff. My wife is at home today, and this is My Wife Still Likes Me. We're gonna have a little bit of a chat. Life is good. I am doing a trip to Phoenix from my church real quick, and so we're gonna talk about noticing the little things, but it's not just the little things, like paying attention to like little things. But guys, I want to talk to you guys a little bit. Ladies, this still applies, right? And so don't just check out. But I want to just think through some things for a second that Kim and I have talked about, and it's just been interesting to think about because it ends up being super fun at the end of the day. So one of my favorite stories that I share with people about our marriage is a long time ago. I'm trying to remember how I set up the camera so it didn't just end up all over the place. Anyway, we went to Disney 3 or 4 years ago. It was a long time ago. I don't remember how long. Yeah. Anyway, we went to Disney a few years ago, and just being nosy and, you know, window shopping and browsing stuff, and we had a budget and we had some plans, and we knew we were going to spend some money on the kids, and there were a couple of things that I wanted to get and a couple of things that my wife wanted to get, and we just trying to stay within budget and stuff, but you know, have a good time. And we went through and we did a bunch of stuff, and we were walking through, and every store we'd go in, we'd look at t-shirts and we'd look at toys and trinkets and stuff, and my wife was walking through looking at jewelry, and she paused for a noticeable second, right? I like to people watch, and so I watch my kids and stuff all the time, but I watch my wife, and she paused for a little bit longer, lingered almost for just a second on the set of earrings that was sitting on one of those turnaround things on top of the shelf, and she had looked at it for just enough that I noticed, and went on about the rest of our trip and our weekend. Anyway, a couple of days later, we had walked past the same store, and I had just taken a minute. I went inside the store and I bought those earrings, and I saved them, and I put them, you know, I bought them, paid for them, put them in my pocket, and I saved them until we had gotten back. And on the last day that we were supposed to enjoy the park before we went home, I gave them to her as just a random special gift. And I can't speak for her, but her face and her reaction that, one, I got something for her that was unexpected, but two, that it was something that she wanted or had thought about or noticed. And she had commented, I saw these the other day. And that led us, this was years ago, we had talked about this, that watching for those kind of things, right? And that's what I mean by notice the little things. It sounds trivial, but specifically for us guys, we can notice those kind of things, right? Remember what your wife's favorite coffee order is, so that when you go to the grocery store and there's a Starbucks inside, right, you can order her favorite drink, right? Not every day, right? If it's expected every day, or you do it every day, the magic isn't there. I don't know the right word. My wife's not here. You're stuck with my phrases. But the cool little things that let her know that you care, almost kind of like continuing on our chivalry conversation from last week. Paying attention to her favorite food order, so that when you're at lunch or you're stopping on the way home from dinner, you can surprise her because you remember what her favorite order is from Cane's or Chick-fil-A or whatever. Those kind of things. Just remembering those things makes a big difference. And so that made me think, like, how do we know what these things are? And it's attention to detail, but I think it's more than that, right? As guys, arguably our least favorite thing is to go shopping, right? Like, at all, period. I just don't enjoy it. It's not my favorite thing. I'm very much, if I know I need it and I can't order it to have it delivered to my house, I'm going to go to the store that has it, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to come home. That's just how I do it. Ladies, you're a little bit different, right? And I'm not trying to box you all in the same box. Some of you are not this way, but my wife and my girls just enjoy walking through stores. It's great. I love it. I love it for them. I want to stay home. However, every so often, I will go with them and just watch, right? Just watch what they look at, because they're going to look. Most of the time, they're going to look, and then they get cheap, inexpensive stuff that isn't going to break the budget. But take a moment just to pay attention and look at what they look at. And I say that because it's not all moms and it's not all ladies, but a lot of ladies, when they know that there's a bigger picture and they know there's a bigger vision, will not buy things for themselves. I don't want to speak for all of you, but a lot of the moms that I talk to and a lot of the spouses that I talk to, they will buy everything in the world for their kids, right? Their kids need shoes, we don't think twice about it. Kids need school supplies, we don't think twice about it. Kids need a ride somewhere, we don't think twice about it. We just do it. Moms do this above and beyond anybody else in the family. And so when it comes to things they need or things that might just be nice for themselves, a lot of times they pass it up. A lot of times they'll put it back on the shelf, right? They'll look at it, linger for a moment, and they put it back on the shelf. Guys, if you take just a moment to remember those things and then figure out how, or order them or sneak them into the cart, whatever, go back and get them. Yeah, it's going to be weird the first time you go back to Walmart and you're walking through the ladies section looking at nightgowns. It's going to be weird. It'll be okay. Nobody else really cares what you're doing. You're getting something for your wife, and she's going to be ecstatic about the fact that you found something for her that she liked. But through all of the stores, take moments to remember those things and think, oh, my wife likes this. And some of it's going to be weird, right? You're going to need to know your wife's sizes. Ladies, it's okay if your husband knows your size, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't care, right? I know what my wife's sizes are. I didn't ask her. If that's a weird conversation that you guys can't have, that's what we can't have, that you're not ready to have yet, that's fine. Don't create extra stress and extra obnoxiousness. I just went and looked at the tag in one of my wife's t-shirts. I know what her t-shirt size is. So if I see a shirt that really speaks to me, I'll get to it. My wife found this brand of, I think they're muumuus, they're nightgowns. They're this really soft, like, sleeping material. It's kind of like a dress. They're pajamas. That's the short answer. Anyway, she found a brand that she really, really liked. I know what her size is, and every time I go to the store, if there's some extra room in the budget and I see one that speaks to me, I get it for her. Now, the discussion now is I'm not allowed to buy pajamas anymore because she's got like 30 of these things because they keep coming out with them. But it's the thought, and the thought goes a long way, right? A couple of weeks ago, we talked about presence is more important than getting it right. This is one of those things that's kind of close. Doing something is super important, and most of the time, I think guys, we're this way too, that we will care more about the act than if the size is right or wrong, because we can always fix the size, right? But it's the little things, knowing the little details like that. I think they go a long, long way. And guys, Christmas is coming. It's September. I know that seems like forever away, but we are notorious for getting this wrong or just flat out forgetting about it. So now's maybe the time, start paying attention, right? And you can do this for all kinds of stuff, right? Jewelry is a good thing, and it doesn't have to be obnoxious, right? My wife's favorite pair of earrings, I think, were $60. And they were great. She wears them all the time, and I like it because she wears something that I got her. T-shirts, right? My wife likes sarcastic t-shirts, and so if I see a t-shirt while I'm out traveling that is sarcastic like she is, I pick it up, put it in the bag, and take it home. We joke at our house a lot about it. We spend way too much time on Amazon, as I assume a lot of people do, but we share an Amazon account. So ladies, this would be your part. I know I'm kind of rambling, but just trying to think through, pay attention to the little things. Kim and I share an Amazon account, and so if she's browsing through Amazon and sees a dress she likes or a t-shirt she likes or a pair of shoes or something that she likes, she saves them in a list that is just for her. And Amazon already knows what her size is, or is pretty close to knows what her size is. And so every so often, I'll go through and I'll pick one of those things that I like, right? A t-shirt or a dress or a bracelet or something. She's Apple Watch bands, right? These things. She had a couple of those. And every so often, if I'm going to order something for work or for church, I'll pop one of those in there, and it just shows up randomly, right? Unexpected, and it makes for a great conversation. It builds the chemistry, it builds the trust. It's the thought, right, guys? It's thinking about our spouses. You can do this for your kids if you have kids. I do the same thing with my kids. When they walk through the toy section, or they walk through and they think a pair of shoes is cool, or they ask me about something, I write those things down, or I type them in my phone. I live in my phone on Apple Notes, so I'll put a note in my phone that says, hey, my son likes this Lego kit, and so I'll start looking for it. And I don't want to say unwarranted gifts, but unplanned, like it's not a birthday, it's not a holiday, it's just a, hey, I was thinking about you, and here's this cool thing that I thought of. Or when it comes to moms, and I don't know if it's just wives, I don't know, but moms specifically will put things back on the shelf to get something for their kids. And so to be able to have something cool or something special that came from their significant other goes a long way, because more often than not, they'll put that thing back. So look at the little things, right? Just, stuff they linger on, stuff they talk about, and it doesn't take a ton of effort, right? It doesn't take a lot of mental space. And I know there's hundreds and hundreds of things going on, right? I'm doing the show by myself today because my wife's schedule and mine didn't match up so that we could get a normal produced show to you. So when life gets busy, those little things help bridge the gap between connection, right? And not that the gap is, negative, or there's fights, or everybody's being grumpy. It's, hey, we got a long stretch of too many days in a row of stuff. Sometimes you remember those things, and you get through those gaps, right? I know that's pretty random, but that was just something I thought about as I was going through this week, and I'm spending 4 hours in the car by myself today. I try to pay attention to those things. I don't like going to the store. I don't like going to the grocery store, right? We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, that Kim loves going to the grocery store. Going to the grocery store is emotionally, mentally, it's exhausting. I just don't like doing it, and I've spent too much money at the grocery store. And she doesn't like to cook on a regular basis. She's a great cook. She's wonderful at cooking, but I enjoy cooking. It's not something that is mentally draining for me, so I do most of the cooking. This is one of those things. If you just build the habit of paying attention to what your wife looks at and maybe puts back, or pay attention to some of the things she buys, or in some cases, this sounds really bad, and don't come at me for this. I'm not saying you have to give your wife permission, but sometimes when our budget is tight, or there's too much month at the end of the money, and my wife needs things just to go through work, like spend the extra money and get the quality item versus the item that's going to get you through, right? That's one of those things. We talk about it, right? And that's, again, don't come at me for that. I hope that every time my wife needs something, she just gets it. But sometimes you want to get the nicer thing. Get the nicer thing. It'll be great. It'll be awesome. But just one of those things, guys, that helps us build connection and build trust and show that we're committed and that we're paying attention. Because sometimes we get a reputation of we don't listen and don't follow directions. Not in a bad way, but just we're guys. We can shut our brain off. So sometimes when we're asked stuff, it doesn't process because we're not paying attention. These are little things that show that we can pay attention. So go to the grocery store, go to Maurice's, go to Walmart, go to the mall if you still have a mall, and just see what your wife lingers on for just a moment, and or Amazon will do it for you. If you share an Amazon account like we do, when you go look at stuff and you go back to Amazon, it says continue where you left off. You're going to see what each other was looking at. Pay attention to that stuff, right? Some of it may not be interesting. That just forces you to have conversation, and it's great. Anyway, that's this week's show. I hope you're doing well. Life is great. My name's Jeff. Kim says hi. This is My Wife Still Likes Me, and we will see you next time. Bye.